guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very exciting day because I am filming the first installment of my new series, Back to the Basics. Now, this series is basically us going back to the very basic aspects of beauty. Now on YouTube nowadays you see a lot of crazy awesome special effects looks like this one, or some crazy colorful smoky eye or halo eye like this one, and those are really great, but we're teaching people how to do the crazy stuff before we get down to the foundation. And today is the very first episode and we are going to be doing the how to smoky eye. Now a lot of you watching may be thinking everyone knows how to do a smoky eye, but I guarantee that someone in my age range of 13 to 18 does not know how to perfect their smoky eye, and that's where I come in. So if you want to learn how to do a perfect beautiful smoky eye step by step, stay tuned. So the most important step to any eye look is good tools. Now your brushes do not need to be $20 each. This one right here is from Wet n Wild and it is an amazing blending brush, and I think it was only $2. So what you're looking for is, for your blending brush, is a very fluffy brush head, and make sure that it's not too dense. Now these are two different types of blending brushes. This one is a little more tapered and this one's kind of flatter. This one is good for transition shades because it helps you diffuse the color all over equally, and this one is really great for blending in really precise areas. Even though it's a little bigger, the tapered tip really helps you accomplish that precision blending. I have two other tools that I'm going to be using. Now this one, it's actually a concealer brush, but I'm going to be using it as a shadow packer brush. I don't know exactly what you'd call this. I'm gonna have it right here because I'm having some brain issues right now, but this is just a flat bristled brush. It's kind of dense, but it still has some give, and it's gonna do a really great job of helping you pack on those shimmery shades onto your lid. And last but not least, this is actually a brush that I don't see a lot of people use for what I'm going to use it for. I'm actually going to use this to smoke out our under eye, which I'll get to what that is in a moment. But this is basically just like a square brush. But this is different from most of the flat top brushes that people use to smoke out their eyes. And this one is very soft. It has a lot of give to it, and it's not very dense, so it's going to help me really blend out that under eye without making it too harsh. Those are the four brushes I'm going to be using today. There's basically two more things that you're going to need. First is a really good primer. For the longest time I did not use primer, and then when I started using primer I had this moment where I was like, why haven't I been doing this the entire time? So take it from me and just go out and purchase a primer. NYX has really good shadow primers. This one's from Too Faced. You can find shadow primers low end, high end, that are really amazing, and I'll actually have some listed down below that will be affordable for you to get. Now for the shadow today, I thought it'd be the easiest just to take a eyeshadow palette that's going to have all the colors we need. So this is the Morphe Kathleen Lights palette. Now it is not available anymore, but these are pretty neutral colors that you'll be able to find in almost any palette. So today we're just going to be using a couple of these shades, and I'll help you get through this easily. So the very first thing you want to do is prime your lids. Now I'm just taking the tiniest amount. I'm going to use that on both of my eyes, just distribute it, and I start with it on my lid because that's where I want it the most, and then I'll bring it up to under my brows. Now just so you know, my eyebrows are already filled in. Now that we have our eyelids primed, I'm actually going to take the bone color right here. It's just a matte white, and I'm going to use that to set everything. You can also use a translucent setting powder to set your primer, but this is really easy because it's already in the palette and you don't have to think about it. It's just one less product you have to have. And it does a pretty great job. And it also helps cancel out any redness in your eyelids, or if you have any veins that bother you, then it helps get rid of those. So I'm going to start off with the very first color now on my lid. And I'm actually going to start off with my transition. And I'm taking the shade. It's kind of a camel light brown color. And I'm going to use the Sephora domed fluffy blending brush. And I'm just going to place this right in the crease of my eye. And I'm starting off this low so that I have room to blend upwards and I don't hit my brow bone all of a sudden. So I'm going all over. Some people like to stay out towards the outer part, but for me, when I do my smoky eyes, I like it to show up everywhere. So I'm going to use windshield wiper motions and just blow this back and forth. And if you need to, you can also do little swirlies. That helps me sometimes to blend. And blending is so important. So make sure that you spend a lot of time doing this between each step so that you don't have your colors mixing together and becoming muddy. Now when you're first starting out, I do recommend that you do both eyes at the same time and you do one step at a time. That way you can just make sure that your makeup looks are even, because you don't want to do one eye and then do the other eye and realize that you did a really blended out look on your left eye and then like a really sharp edge on your right eye. So step by step is the easiest to do it. Now that we have that color laid down and blended pretty much all the way, I'm going to take my other fluffy brush, which does not have any product on it, and I'm just going to blend out the edges as well as I can. Now, this brush is the brush I said I was going to use to smoke out my under eyes, and I'm actually going to use it at this step to place color right in my crease and on my outer V. So I'm going to be taking this dark gray color right here, and this is a little bit easier to work with than a black when you're first learning. So we're going to be taking a dark gray and then we can transition into a black. So like I said, I'm just going to lightly place this color in my crease to start off with. Now it's always start off with a little bit because you can always add more, but you can't, it's really hard to take it off once you've already laid the color down. I'm doing it in my crease and bringing it down a little into the outer part of my eye again. And making sure that everything is even, or as even as it can be. Now that I've placed that color down, I'm going to take that Wet n Wild blending brush again and blend that out. You want to make sure that everything is able to transition as well as it can. And if you can see, this side is a little bit darker, so I'm going to go back in with that gray and place some more pigment on the outer part of my lid. Camera troubles. And now as you can see, there's a really harsh line right there, which is why we take this brush and we blend. And now that we're at this stage, we can finally dive into the deep black. Now this palette actually has a black in it, so we're going to use this. I'm going to place it right near my lash line, and then I can blend it up really easily. Now the black is a lot more pigmented than the gray, so it's best to work with it low, and then we can move up with it after we get more comfortable. Now that I've placed that, I'm going to blend a little bit. And then I can move over to my other eye. Again, we're staying close to the lash line and slowly moving up. We just want to place most of the product near the lash line so when we blend, we don't get a black eye. And then we blend again. I know. Alright, that's pretty good. So now I'm just going to go back and I'm going to grab that camel color one last time and make sure to just keep it close. And I'm going to use that to blend, blend, blend. Now, our next step is to take our shimmery shade and put it in the inner half of our eye. And I'm going to be taking this plummy shade mixed with the shimmery white. And I'm actually going to spray that with a little bit of makeup setting spray. When you wet a shimmer shadow, it makes it even more metallic and amazing. So I'm just taking this setting spray that I have from a beauty subscription box. If you don't have a setting spray, you can use eye drops or Waterworks, but not as great as something that has glycerin in it. So I'm just going to spray that from pretty far away. Just enough to get it damp, but I don't want it like soaking. And now I'm going to place this right here, right on the inner part of my eye. And even though we're doing a smoky eye, this just helps make sure that our eye does not drown in darkness. If you like that, that's okay, because I do too, but sometimes you want some brightness in your eye, so. Now, as you can see, there's like a very abrupt transition between those. I'm going to go back in with another shimmer and blend a little bit better so that it's not just like boom, shimmer. Because that's a great look, but you know what? Sometimes we just want a beautiful blended eye, so that's what I'm going for. I prefer this concealer brush instead of like the normal shadow brush because this one is very thin and I'm able to get up right in my crease without it like splitching everywhere. Which, splitching isn't a word, but it is today. Now at this point you have two options if you're not feeling the shimmer shadow. So right now this is not sparkly enough for me. This might be where you want to end, and that's great. I think this looks really amazing, but I love sparkles and glitter, and I just think this look could use some of that. So I have two options. I have the NYX glitter glue and this little iridescent silver glitter from NYX. This is a really great affordable option if you need to start building up your glitter. But I also have this Stila Magnificent Metals liquid eyeshadow, and this is really glittery, and this is what I think I'm going to use over this to add some bling. Use this brush to blend it out. So already this eye pops a whole lot more, so I'm just going to take this and put it on my other side. And I find this specific product to work best if you just use the applicator and then take a separate brush to blend like I did on my other eye. But this just adds a lot to a look. It's crazy how much a little bit of glitter can transform your look. So that is the completed look. I hope this tutorial helped you out. If there's anything you have questions on, or you're wondering about the products I'll use, I'll have all products linked down below, and also I will be answering questions as long as you're asking them. Let me down below what other back to the basics tutorials you would like to see, and I will make sure to do those for you. If you have not already, please go down there and click that subscribe button. we are building the family and starting to film more and more. And I just got this really fun glittery background, so I look like a pro. If you want to follow me on my other platforms, I'll have all social medias linked down below. And I think that's about it for this video. So I will see you in my next video, guys. Bye!